Hey, my name is Eugene and I build and rank websites. So in this video, I wanted to share how I build my websites. I'm just going to tackle one page and I'm going to share the checklist, the 13-step checklist of what I know Google looks at. So we need to consider it as well. So these are very, very basic elements that should be on every page if you want that page to climb the ranks. It might even be a blog. So let's dive in. So we've jumped in and I've created a landing page just for demo purposes. It's for training purposes. I think I've placed it under guides on my website. This is an example of how I build a lot of my websites, a lot of my pages. What I'm going to do before we chat about this, I'm just going to scroll down to the checklist. So every page that we build, whether it's your home page, whether it's a blog, or whether it's a services page, it needs to target a certain keyword. So what's the purpose of this page? The purpose of this page might be a blog for supporting purposes. We want to try prove ourselves to Google and build trust with Google. So we're going to create this blog. That blog will have a certain question that we're trying to answer, or a certain keyword we want to rank for. Same with service pages. I want to discuss more on sort of building a home page or a service page. Let's use you're a plumber, you're in Brighton, or you're a wedding DJ. So it's pretty clear that wedding DJ, for example, is the keyword that you want to rank this page for. But you sort of want to you want to make sure of it. So use things like, let's see if I've got it. SEMrush, am I even logged in? No, I'm not, of course. So you want to use a tool to identify how many times a month this keyword gets entered into Google. So if we type in, I might just zoom in quickly because I've got a new monitor. It's a bit large. Wedding DJ. So wedding DJ every single month gets 880 visitors a month. So okay, so that's a keyword that we should go after. So if we go back to the checklist, identify what keyword you want to rank this page for. We want to rank it for wedding DJ. Great. Now, what is the search intent behind this keyword? So, for example, if you want to rank this keyword for, leather sofa, for example, type that keyword into Google. If Google is showing you online shops or directories, and you're trying to rank your local business for leather sofa, well, it's not going to work. So actually type in wedding DJ, have a look who comes up. You've got the ads, obviously, you've got the local businesses, you've got two of my directories sitting there, and then you have your local businesses. Great. So it does show you that a local business can rank in this space. We're not looking at, is this an e-commerce Shopify store? No. Great. So let's go after it. So now that we've identified the keyword and we know what we need to sort of build, we need to include the keyword in the URL. The URL is the actual address. So it'll be your homepage.com.au/wedding DJ. Right? So tick that off. Now, in the future, you might be a wedding DJ in Sydney. You might want to target city pages. So that would look like homepage.com.au/wedding DJ/Sydney. And that Sydney page will aim at those keywords. Now, you also want to include the keyword in the H1. The H1 is the main title. So when Google visits your website, it looks for titles, first of all. It looks for titles, and then it looks for supporting text. So the H1, you should only ever have one heading one on your home page. And that's designed to tell Google what this page is about. So you definitely want to have, Bob Jane Wedding DJ Services. You might even have Bob Jane Wedding DJ Melbourne. Put the keyword in there. So there's no wrong or right way to do it, but you definitely need to find a way to put the keyword in there. I'd mix it with your brand as well if it's your home page, right? Your brand has to be there if it's your home page. Then what we want to do, we also want to include that in the SEO title tag. So you'll have tools on your website builder, whether it's WordPress, Wix, or Weebly, to control what this website will look to Google. So if we type in a wedding DJ, for example, here, the top 100 wedding DJ and bands, that's the title. So you want to make sure the keyword is also in the title. Now let's continue. You want to make sure that the keyword is in the meta description. So you want to so the meta description is the text that Google shows under the title. Now, you want to include it in the meta description for a number of reasons. One, when people read it, it'll help them click the page. It'll make them realize that there is something interesting there for them to see. But also it's something that the Google algorithm looks for as well. Main keyword in the first paragraph. So you're going to have your H1, you're going to have your first paragraph. You definitely want your keyword or variation of that keyword as well as the main keyword in the first 150 words. Now, don't keyword stuff. That's one of the other factors. Don't unnaturally try and inject the keyword into the text. Let's have a look. You want to optimize your other headings to support that keyword. So you might be, this main keyword might be wedding DJ, but you also might provide general events DJ services. So something that hovers around that topic or supports that topic. You might also do, special effects for weddings or things like that, which might be a H2, or in fact, if it's a different service, you just want to include it as a separate service. That would take a visitor to that particular page. So this is a very rough and basic example of how I build a lot of my landing pages to make them rank. You're going to have your main title, your main keyword in the first paragraph. You have your benefits, because at the end of the day, you're not just pleasing Google. You want to if someone's a potential buyer, a potential client is viewing this, you want to tick off the boxes that what they want to see. You do this, and this. Then the rest of the titles need to be keyword centric as well. So put wedding DJ plus city, or award-winning wedding DJ, for example. Down the bottom here, I also do sort of proof of experience. If you've got Google reviews, take a screenshot of them. Don't copy paste reviews, and because it looks like someone just threw it in. You can have any text show up there. So if there's any bodies or organizations that you're part of that people know of, take a screenshot of the membership, for example, or reviews are best, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Google, or somewhere else. I'll continue going down this list. So meta description we've done, main keywords in the paragraph, making sure that the other titles are mentioning the keywords. Now, matching content length. So this is an interesting one. So if we want to rank for wedding DJ, right, and Google has already chosen these top 10 websites, essentially they're doing something that Google likes. So we need to visit those websites, and we need to dissect, well, not so much dissect, we just want to see how much text is on their homepage. Let's have a look. 3, 4, 5. Okay. This page has, there's a lot of ways you can check text on the page. This page has 4,100 words. There's a couple of tools out there that you can actually just put the URL in. It'll just tell you, hey, this page has X amount of text. Let's have a look. So next page has 1,100. So the average is sitting at around 3,000 roughly. Next page, it's taking a little while to load. $700. So the average drops even further. You get the gist. So you wanna average what the top 10 are doing. Don't overdo. Don't keyword stuff. Google will understand if that keyword is just there unnaturally. So just make it sound natural and try and mention that keyword as many times as you can. Now, if this page is targeting this keyword, you better make sure that you don't have any other pages that are targeting this keyword in the same manner. What I mean by that is, it's fine to have a blog about wedding DJs. It's fine to mention the term wedding DJs. But let's just say that if Google visits your website, you want there to be one clear page that you're presenting to Google for those keywords. You don't want to be, the term is cannibalization, where one page is competing with another page on your website for the same term. A lot of people make a lot of mistakes where almost every page on their website mentions wedding DJ, wedding DJ, wedding DJ. And so the homepage is gunning for those keywords. Every blog is gunning for those keywords. And Google is essentially just confused which is the main page that you want to show on the listings. So don't overdo that main keyword, even though that's the core of what you do on all the pages. Optimizing images, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, your images need to be the exact size that you're loading them. What I mean by that is, this image, the full version of this image is probably 2,000 pixels wide. What I've done here is I've actually cut it to being, what is it? This is probably 400 pixels wide. So in other words, don't let Wix or Weebly or WordPress compress it, because it's still loading the full-size image. So compress it to the size that you're actually showing it. Why are we doing this? We're increasing the speed of the website. If the website loads slow, people will back out. Google will notice it. Your rankings will drop. Not good. You want your site to be as fast as possible. You want to also put the keyword in the file name as much as possible, and you want to put the alt text. The alt text is Google see that as a micro ranking factor. They're looking after blind people. Blind people use screen readers. If your website doesn't have alt text, it means a blind person will have a very bad time understanding what your website is about. They'll be able to read the text, but let's just say that you want to describe every image as best as you can. Use that opportunity to put the keyword inside the image, alt text. Now, this is a big one. I don't want to overload. Include links to this page. So these are mentions from within your website about this page. So let me use this analogy. Your website is a spider web of pages. Google visits it, and its job is to crawl all the web links. Its job is to crawl all the links. So you might have service 1, that's a link, takes you to service 1. You might have service 2. So every time a spider, a Google bot visits, and it's got 2 buttons, it'll split itself, and it'll visit that page, and it'll visit the other page. The idea with internal links is the more bots that you send to this page, the better. That's probably the best way I can explain it in a simple manner without overcomplicating it too much. So if you have a new blog post that goes up, or a new service page, you definitely want to go back to your other pages and where it's naturally mention that blog post. So for example, you might have, the best headset that a wedding DJ uses, for example. If that blog goes up, go find other blogs on your page to see if you can naturally mention that post. And what will happen is that Google will visit that page more. It will seem more important to Google. So we're talking like internally inside your website. Then look, this only applies if it's a blog. You wanna link to external websites that are in your space. I can't think of any wedding DJ big websites. They should not be competitors, right? But they might be wedding venues that you've worked at. You'll mention them. Or there might be some sort of an arts body where they have concerts, for example, or a government body of the arts, for example. A good example of this is if you're an accountant in Australia, you're mentioning the ATO or the government website or the small business ombudsman. So these are sites that Google sees as high trust, high authority. Wikipedia is one of those sites, but the Wikipedia is just jack of all trades, so not a good example. It might be a page about audio systems within Wikipedia. I would stick to websites that are somewhat local, somewhat in Australia. that are, big bodies on this space. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So very simple stuff. Whether you're on Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, any other website, you can do all of these things to your page to make sure that Google starts choosing this page over a page that, say, hasn't done this. Hopefully that's helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Now I done grew up around some people living their life in bottles.